What is up? What is up? What is up, my fellow New York Jets fans, Gangrene Gotham City Football Club? We are a disaster, an absolute disaster. And we're here to talk about it because you are the most loyal Jets fans, the most loyal fans of any team on the planet Earth, because you're here 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk all things New York Jets. Let's hit that Jets chant. Jets, Jets, Jets. All right. Guys, a lot of things have happened today. We came into Tuesday, thinking that tonight's show is going to be all about how the Jets got our hopes up against the Indianapolis Colts, had a outstanding second half offensively, but then the defense once again completely shits the bed, and it basically lets the Colts and Richardson just roll down the field, no resistance, nothing whatsoever in terms of defense and scoring. Even I will give credit to Aaron Rodgers. He wanted to go for it on 4th and 1 because he knew what the defense was providing the team in the second half. He wanted to go for 2. It would both. I mean, look at what did we have to lose? What did the Jets have to lose, even if they didn't get that first down? They regardless, the Colts were just going to march down the field. So why not go for it? Try to get the touchdown, get the 7, and make the game, win the game. No, the Jets don't do that. The Jets don't win games. That's not what we do here. We make other teams look great. You wouldn't believe how many people on my reaction videos are telling me, oh, thanks for, getting Richardson's, confidence up headed into the second half of the season. I said, that's what the Jets do. That's what the New York Jets do. They provide hope. If your team is in a slump, play the New York Jets. If you have a quarterback who isn't playing well and has been benched and he needs that confidence back, play the New York Jets, because we will make you feel like a Super Bowl contender. That's what the New York Jets do. And that's what we thought this whole show was going to be about. And then who's the guy with 2 thumbs who doesn't give a F if Joe Douglas is gone? This guy. I mean, once again, Joe Douglas fired from the New York Jets, no longer the GM. I mean, what was he going to do? What was he going to do from this point on? Trade deadline's over. There's no more. He wasn't lasting. So just get rid of him. Woody did it. I have no problem with that. Salah's gone. JD's gone. Let's just start anew next year. But we're going to talk about why that probably won't happen on tonight's show. So tonight's show, we're talking about the Colts game. We're talking about the firing of Joe Douglas and so much more. We'll take your calls and all of that. So anyway, let's bring in my co-host. He is he's not ready yet. Oh, now he's ready. Let's bring in my co-host, Maddie. How you doing tonight?
I'm ready. I'm always ready. Oh, we're booty cheeks. But my shirt came in that I told everybody about.
Nice. Rebuilding since 1970.
That's on Etsy, by the way. If you just search New York Jets, you'll find it. But the guy's shop is called Trending Shirts South. And, he got it here fast. And he got here yesterday. I washed it, and I was like, wow, how perfect is that for today? Jesus Christ, this team is an absolute debauch. And
completely agree. Oh, what are you doing? Looks like you're putting in some sort of code on your TV there.
Nah. What are we supposed to do? I mean, I'm going to say this. I'm not really mad at Joe Douglas. I feel like Joe Douglas did everything he thought he could do.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough. But, I definitely wish Joe Douglas well. I think that he'll probably win a Super Bowl somewhere else, like everyone else does when they work for the Jets. But otherwise, I mean, shit, dude, how low can it get around here? Christ. Every day.
Oh, it's about to get lower. It's about to get lower, Maddie. Wait, real quick before we get into this, I want to point out, guys, I forgot to say this in the beginning. Usually I do. Hit that thumbs up button. Stack actually put it in there. Hit the like button. The more you guys, and this is a broken record, I know, but there's new people who come in every show. And what you need to do to help in the YouTube algorithms, let people know that we are live. It is free to just hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. And you do that, and you'll see the numbers go up, and you'll know you're making a difference. So I really do appreciate that. Maddie appreciates that, and yeah, we will get to that. But Maddie, yeah, it has that Colts game was a complete disaster. Our defense is just a shell of what it was last year.
How does it go from being that, like being an elite D, to absolute dog shit tacos in one, like same personnel? I don't understand it, but it's just awful.
Well, no, but that's the thing. It's not fully the same personnel. You know, the smart thing would have been to keep Bryce Huff and not deal with this Hassan Reddick garbage.
Right. You know, you can't blame all that on that. I mean,
oh no, not absolutely not. And we lost a few other guys. But this team was definitely built, and Joe Douglas did everything he was supposed to do. But unfortunately, the guys that he brought in just aren't performing.
No.
And even previously, when you give Joe Douglas that, when we used to sit there and give Joe Douglas credit, we'd always go back to that draft where he got Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, and all that. Well, now look at how Sauce is performing. You know, even Garrett's not having the best season.
Awful.
He was given two chances with quarterbacks. Zach Wilson, a complete bomb, and so far Aaron Rodgers. Look, Aaron Rodgers, people are giving Aaron Rodgers so much shit, but may I remind everybody that he has 15 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback that we've had on this team in, probably almost a decade.
That's the thing. I mean, we've never had a better quarterback that I can really think of. I mean, it's
Fitz had a great season. Testaverde was a better quarterback. Kenny O'Brien was a better, but once again, Kenny O'Brien was in his prime. We're getting Aaron Rodgers towards the end.
Yeah, we're getting Aaron Rodgers towards the end, and I get that. But I mean, Jesus, man, how is this so bad? Like, I look at it and I'm literally like, are you guys fucking for real? Like, I feel like we're getting punked. Like at the end of the season, they'll be like, guys, just kidding. You're not really that bad. We just totally sunk your boat.
But what would be the point of that?
Yeah, it's one of those. This is so outlandishly bad. Like, if you were to tell me, like at the beginning of the season, this is where we would be right now, I'd be like, all right, you're clearly fucking with me. And time travel is definitely not real.
Now, Maddie, what I want to do real quick is let everybody know that we still are carrying over. We wanted to get 20 gifted channel memberships, but I was going to provide 10 of those. Okay. So on Saturday night or last Tuesday night, I think it was last Tuesday night, we got 5 and I gifted 5 more. Yeah, and then on Tuesday night, we got 2. So I carried it over. So we need 3 gifted channel memberships tonight, and then I will gift 5. And 1 has already come in. So it's a Senku gets the Jets chant. Jets. Not only are they a channel member, but they were nice enough to gift one of you guys a channel membership. And I will be updating not only our Midnight Mafia channel members on the end of the screen before Saturday night's show, but I will also hopefully, I tried to do it tonight, but ran out of time. We'll hopefully have Met's new intro video up.
Oh, I want to see that.
And ready to go. But until then, we're still going to use our classic Big Jake John Wayne one, which I still love because he just pinwheels that kid right into the water. And I feel like that's Met's style. Yeah. To pinwheel the.
By the way, I will be dipping out a little early tonight. It is my first night on Graveyard, so I need to make sure that I am on time for work. Make sure I give myself enough time, being that this is my first shift. So probably bounce at about 45 after.
Oh, so you're gonna have I guess you have her boss's balls in your mouth, just completely sucking up there.
I get a check from one place, not the other. I got a mortgage. I don't want to hear it.
Fair enough.
Interest rates may be going down, but they ain't going down that good. But like I say, I'm feeling it out. I'm all.
Vic comes in, a newer. Awesome. Yeah. Vic comes in, a new channel member, comes in, says, good teams find a way to win, bad teams find a way to lose. And yes, that is the New York Jets in a nutshell.
The Jets are the Indiana Jones of finding ways to fucking lose. Booty cheeks. Fucking
Real quick,
booty
let's talk really quick. What were your thoughts? First off, let's talk about the first half. What were your thoughts going into that game? You watch the first half, and we don't get a first down until like 3 minutes left in the half.
Actually, all I thought about was this show going, I fucking told everybody they were going to do this shit. I knew they were going to fucking lose this game. And then the second half rolls around, and I'm like, I turned into the fucking groundskeeper or the construction worker from Major League. Where I'm like, these guys ain't so fucking bad. And then, never mind. It was all a lie. They are that bad. From top to bottom. Coaching.
But then in the second half, the Jets offense comes alive, and the defense just went to sleep.
And that's the thing that I knew that was going to happen.
What the fuck is going on?
I literally knew that was going to happen. I was like, okay, all cylinders cannot click on this team. Clearly, they just refuse to work together. Like it's almost like they call each other in the morning, and be like, "Your shift today, all defense today."
Yep.
So it's pick sixes, or because we ain't scoring, or we're going to score a lot. You guys take the day off. Like this team is tragic.
Well, and another thing, I do want to point this out, guys, because I constantly see people battering Aaron Rodgers. And the thing is, I said it earlier, he's 15 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. That's the best we've seen in a long time. But not only that, but we've had like 3 games that were Aaron brought us to where we needed to score to win the game, and it was ruined by Greg Zuerlein, who was supposed to be our money, missing kicks. You know, we would have won what was it? We would have won the Bills game. He missed 2 kicks. We make those, we won the game. He did it in the Denver game. He lost he missed the kick at the end of that game. And then there was another game where
I'm curious to see how many games we lose by 2 or less points this year total. Not that it's all going to be Zuerlein's fault, but I'm very curious to look at that stat at the end of the season.
TT comes in, says, I know how you feel. My Browns are lost right now. Hey, welcome in, man.
You're one of us, buddy.
Yeah, I keep saying misery loves company, and the Jets, the Browns, and the Lions are basically, we are all one and the same. But the Lions, man, they're really
happy and good for them. Like I say, I was telling somebody else, that's like triumvirate of sucks. So we all like, not the Lions are good. I'm going to happily root for the Lions. You know, I hope they do very well because somebody has to get out of this pit.
Ben comes in, says, as an NFL fan, the Jets are a team that didn't live up to their expectations. The Cards are a bad team playing well. It unfortunately happens. Yeah, but Ben, you know, like, and I talked about this a little bit earlier. Check out Inner City Jets with Tommy Jets. We did a Mach 1 show earlier, and I talked about this, and I've said it before on this show. It's like the bar of a shit Jets season is the Rich Kotite era. Like that is like, that's the bar.
But
the only difference, Maddie, is that we weren't expected to be good.
No, you know why it hurts even more.
Exactly. This is the worst Jet season that I've ever lived through, and I can't believe
it's the most punishing because we came in with legitimate high hopes. It wasn't just homers being like, "All right, guys, it's our year," because like we have Aaron Rodgers. We have an amazing wide receiver. We have a running back who's just cutting through people like crazy last year. And then this. And, the 96 season, we won 1 game. I get that. But nobody said the Jets were – no one on television was picking the Jets to win the division. This year, almost everybody did. It's just it hurts so much more.
I agree. The Jets with a halfway decent defense win 9 to 10 games easy. I agree.
Right.
I agree. Or a kicker for that matter. This season would be if we made those kicks, we'd be 6-5 right now. And no one would be shitting. And Aaron Rodgers would still have his 15 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, and we would not be having this conversation. Solomon might still have a job. Joe Douglas would probably still have a job. It is what it is. But DB94, thank you so much. We've got 3 gifted channel memberships, 2 more, and I gift 5 of my own to get as many of you able to watch the content that is for members only. I'd love to bring those numbers up, and I have no problem gifting them. But before we continue, folks, hit the thumbs up button. I see a bunch of you in here. I want to try to get those numbers up even higher. And the way that happens is for free, you just hit that like button. Okay. So that's what I'm asking you to do right now. Keep going. Alan's having a great time laughing.
Always, buddy. I love Alan. I love
He's
Alan.
Such a fucking wise ass. I do too.
John Fraud is just wonderful. He's that guy who even enjoys his own misery.
No, Mets. The '96 season was not worse. We weren't expected to be good. We weren't
What does
expected to be.
shock mean? What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Okay, I thought maybe there was an
I
inside joke.
I have no idea.
Okay. Wish it was a bye week every
Well, let me
week
ask you
instead.
this. Let me ask you this, Maddie.
Yo.
Let me ask you this. Was the JD thing a shock? Was it expected, or did you expect it at the end of the season? What are your thoughts?
I expected at the end of the season, because I believe this was his last year, that they would just agree to mutually part ways. Because I don't see what firing him does right now anyways. You know what I mean? You can bring in an interim GM. Trade deadline's done. You can't do much except for cut players here or there or do whatever. Like, I don't know if Woody Johnson's trying to send a message that no one's going to listen to anyway. I expected at the end of the year the Jets to not renew his contract and him to say, I'm happy getting the hell out of here. So, it is what it is.
Well, my whole thing, Maddie, is this. It's I think basically the reason he just got rid of him is because there's nothing left for him to do. There's nothing. The trade deadline's over. I think Woody's putting it out there that this is going to be a whole new organization next year, new coaches. I'm surprised he hasn't fired Hackett too while he's at it. New coaches, a new GM, all that stuff. I still don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be here or not. Because
that was going to be a thing I was going to bring up later. So keep going with that thought.
Well, it's for me, man. It's he's got the money on the table. Is he willing? Is Aaron Rodgers the kind of guy who retires and leaves that money on the table? No, not in my opinion.
I don't think so.
Also, Aaron Rodgers is a guy with a huge fucking ego. So is he really going to want to go out like this, or is he going to want to try to run it back one more time?
I think he's try to run it back, but it's going to go poorly. I think that he'll end up getting benched for Jordan Travis or whatever.
Well, I mean, or Tyrod. We have Tyrod next year.
Yeah.
My whole thing is this. Once again, I think this is another sign, and people may hate this, whatever. And I'm not against this, but I'm not for it. This is another sign that I think Rex Ryan is coming back.
Yeah,
because Rex has brought it up. He said, "I'll go in there and I'll deal with Rodgers." But I think Rex wants to be on the team, or wants to coach the team. He loves being a New York Jet, and I think that he would come in and say to Woody, "Look, I'll go in there and do 2025 with Aaron Rodgers, and we'll do what we can, and if he sucks, I'll bench him. I'll put Tyrod in, or I'll put in Jordan Travis, or I'll put in whoever." But my whole thing is that I think Rex will be telling Woody, "I'm here for 2026, so I'll do 2025, but I'm really here for 2026 and beyond."
And I expect because him running the show with a lot more.
Oh, absolutely. And Maddie, you know what?
I mean, anybody who comes in here should.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you know what? It's once again, no one. I just find it hard to believe that Johnson or Vrabel or any of these guys are going to want to come to the disaster embarrassment that is the New York Jets.
Why would they? Yeah, I would stay at Detroit before I came to the Jets.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's going to be so many open head coaching positions that are better opportunities than the gross incompetence that is the New York Jets.
It's the difference between buying a plot of land that has a nice house on it that needs some repairs versus buying a plot of land that has a house that burned down on it.
Dude, I think we might have to be settling for Rex. And once again, I'm not against it, but I'm not for it. Has the NFL passed him by? I guess we might find out. That's all I'm saying. Like we got a super chat. Here we go. Jets. Rick Simmons with $2 coming in. Thank you so much, Rick. We appreciate it. He says, "I see Christmas came early, Mike." What do you mean about the firing of Joe Douglas? I mean, I expected this to happen. Once again, here's the only thing why I didn't want it to happen now. Okay. Because we're going to have we have a whole nother off season, and I have a great plans for this off season on topics and things that we're going to do with me and Maddie and probably another guy or two. I have a lot of plans for the off season, but it's always good when there's news to talk about in the off season. So I expect the Super Bowl to roll around, and then after a week or two, then Joe Douglas gets fired. Then we could talk about that for a week or so. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then we can start talking about who the new GM is going to be or who the new coach is going to be and all that stuff. And here we are, Maddie, talking about it before Thanksgiving. I mean, this is depressing.
Just tragic, dude. It's so Jets. Like, I thought Aaron Rodgers hurting himself the first game last year was the most Jets thing that could happen. This is even more Jets.
Guillermo comes in and says, who is sadder, the Jets or Stuttering John? I'm going to tell you right now, it's Stuttering John.
Who's Stuttering John?
At least the Jets don't. From the Howard Stern show?
Oh, I don't listen to Stern.
Oh, okay. I was a Stern guy, and then I became an Opie and Anthony guy, but still listen to Howard. Okay. But at least the Jets aren't on live streams drooling all over themselves. That's how I look at it. Yeah. Okay. We have a special guest, folks, and this is a big one. This is a big one for this show. He was fired earlier today by the New York Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in the GM of the New York Jets, Mr. Joe Douglas.
I tried to tell him.
Douglas, how you doing today?
I said, this is how you tackle. We went through the VR. I was on the field with him. You got to wrap him up. And he wouldn't wrap it up. Nobody knows how to tackle anymore.
Mr. Douglas.
Hey, how you doing? We're live with the Midnight Mike Show, right?
I see you.
How you doing?
Yes, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm not going to keep you long. I know you're really busy. Well, you're not really busy now, but I see you're in. I guess you're still at One Jets Drive. They haven't officially kicked you out yet.
Yeah.
But just a couple questions.
Goes through midnight.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just here raiding the fridge until midnight. Yeah.
I see. Okay. And so I guess you could still wear all the gear too till midnight.
Yeah, I'm just holding on to my first love here. So my first chance as a GM, and again, I want to revel in this as long as I can, and tomorrow's a new day.
Absolutely. So I just have a couple questions for you. Yeah, I just want to. I don't want to keep, like I said, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you probably have a lot of people to talk to, and maybe resumes. Yeah, and resumes to send out. So we'll go with the positive. What was your favorite moment being a New York Jet GM or your time with the Jets?
Anytime an executive gets their first job, steering the ship, it's always going to be special. I have to say my favorite moment has to be the 2022 draft. There's a lot that went into that. First it was, are you going to take Sauce at 4 or Garrett? We went Sauce. Still had Garrett at 10. At 10, it was, you're going to get Garrett or JJ. We took Garrett, still got JJ at 26. And then in the second round, we knew enough to jump the Texans to get Brees at 36. So that was all hard work coming to fruition. And as a GM, that was really sweet.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm glad that at least a lot of your time here or some of your time with the team was a little bit positive. I like that.
Yeah.
Another question is, I mean, here we are, and I hate to, bring it up or talk about it, but you've got, it has to be running through your head. Like, what are your plans now? What does Joe Douglas do now?
I'm going to go home, probably jump on my wife a little more often. No more early wake-ups, stay up, watch some movies. But, after that, I'm just going to sit back for reflect on the season, till the end. And then I'll probably end up going back to Baltimore. I always have a home there. And, after a few years there, I'll probably get another GM opportunity. Mike, most GMs, definitely like most GMs, I made mistakes. But I also made a whole bunch of slick moves that a lot of executives in the league will appreciate. And unfortunately, not all of them worked out here, but definitely a lot more than the Jet fan base was used to. So I definitely think I earned another shot.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think you're going to be looking for another job somewhere, and I think someone will hire you. Like I've said before on this show, we've asked everything we asked you to do in the off season. You did for us. You got us a backup quarterback, a legit backup quarterback. You got us a wide receiver 2 and a wide receiver 3. You shored up the O-line. And maybe you didn't get, maybe it wasn't the best, guys. We had a problem with Mike Williams, had a problem with Tyron Smith, but I'd say Morgan Moses worked out. I'd say, getting Devontae in here worked out, and your drafts of Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall and all those guys was good. So I definitely appreciate that, and thank you for that, because I think some of those players will be on the team moving forward.
Don't forget, John Simpson's been great.
Yes,
we did a lot. Just go back to the beginning of this year. Even the owner said this is the best roster ever built by the New York Jets, and it was. All the moves that everybody wanted, I got done. I eliminated the jet tax. I signed Hall of Fame players on incentive-laden deals. I didn't mortgage the future to put a competitive team on the field. But as we came in, I can't, and as you might have seen, I can't teach people how to tackle. These are professional football players. We don't get turnovers. I can't be on the field. All I could do is put the personnel on the roster, and it's out of my hands from there. And I thought I did my job. Nobody had a complaint about the roster that I compiled.
Thought you did your job too.
There's nothing else I could do. When people want to talk about Robert Saleh, you hired him. He was the hottest named coach during that cycle. Everybody wanted the San Francisco 49er defensive coordinator running up and down the sidelines. Everybody wanted him. I got him for you. Zach Wilson draft. At number 2, everybody had Zach Wilson going number 2 that draft. Everybody. Yep. Imagine I passed on him. I would have been tarred and feathered. Took him, and unfortunately he didn't pan out. But look what happened in number 3. The 49ers mortgaged their future, 3 or 4 first-round picks for Trey Lance. Nobody wanted their heads. So, sometimes things just don't pan out. But, I thought it made a lot of good decisions, and it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It just didn't go our way. People didn't perform the way they were supposed to. It is what it is.
And another thing is that even the number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence, he's not even too impressive. So it was just a kind of a bust on quarterback draft anyway.
Yeah, no, he's he hasn't been a complete bust, but I don't think he deserved that second contract that he got. But hey, that's on Jacksonville, and you can only make the best decisions that are in front of your face, I guess. And we did it. I know I missed on Mackay, but that's a 6'8", 350 pound behemoth. I couldn't. I was hoping that he didn't eat himself out of the league, and he almost did. If you guys remember, I wanted to move him to guard, then he didn't want to. He was posted on the left tackle.
That's what you're going to be doing with your wife more often now, right?
What? Moving her to left guard?
No. Eating himself out.
Oh yeah. You're a dirty boy.
I am. I'm sorry. All right, Joe. I got one more question for you.
I like where your head's at that.
The last thing now that you're not on the team anymore, I feel like you could be a little open with us, and maybe you could give us a little insight. Was Aaron Rodgers a mistake, and is he the diva that everyone insists that he is in the media?
No mistake, not at all. I mean, we didn't have to mortgage the future again to get him. We took advantage of a situation that was happening with a breakdown in Green Bay. He's still been better than any quarterback we've trotted out there in most people's lifetimes. Even at not at the MVP level, he's still better than what we had. People like to say, if Aaron didn't get hurt last year with that defense intact, we probably would have done a lot of things. And even this year, if we have a dependable field goal kicker, we're at least 6 wins at least. So it's not as bad as people. It just looks worse because when you lose, and then you see the drops and the missed tackles and the penalties and touchdowns called back and play clock management, wasting 3 timeouts in the first quarter. It's delay of games. It's all these stupid mistakes that I really can't control. But who could foresee that a coaching staff doesn't know how to use a timeout, or that you can't get the play in on time? I guess I have to eat it because ultimately I'm the one who pays the price, but you know.
Well, I mean, look, Robert Saleh paid the price. Now you're paying the price. I'm actually shocked you went before Nathaniel Hackett, but this may be the last time we talk to you.
We are all.
This may be the last time we talk to you.
Yeah.
And thank you. I think you did put a lot of players on this team that we can work with for our future. And if we don't talk to you again, it was nice knowing you. GM Joe Douglas, thank you for being on the Midnight Mike Show.
You're welcome, brother. I just do want to say I feel terrible for Murdog, the Jet stream, because now I don't know what the hell he's going to do. We got to hope that the next GM looks just like him. And, sorry about it, buddy, but,
That's true.
So
you do bear a striking resemblance to him. He'll probably be on later on. So, I mean, anyone who doesn't, anybody new.
Good wishes.
I'll watch it as I'm driving away from Florham Park. I'll watch it.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Take care.
So I got a new
there
lamp,
it is,
by the
ladies
way,
and
and I don't
gentlemen.
feel like the lighting looks any better.
No, I mean, it's brighter. The whole room is brighter. Before
it
you used to be
better
just
on
like
camera.
a little bit of light. Well, I mean, the whole room is brighter.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I can see a lot. Well, I
don't know.
gave you some suggestions, didn't I?
I don't remember.
And you didn't. All right. Well, folks, keep hitting that thumbs up button on your way in or on your way out. It shows support for the show. And we do have another super chat. I feel like I might be missing something on this one, but let's give them the Jets chant. Jets. Guillermo, one of my brothers from the Dabbleverse, comes in with $2. He's also a channel member. Says, is Sal Alosi available? Am I missing something, Maddie?
Is that the Howard Stern thing? I don't know.
No,
Every
the
time we
only
get
Sal
all
I
these
know.
references now, I feel like I'm talking to my kids, and I just don't know what they're saying.
No, the only Sal I know from the Howard Stern show is Sal Governale. So that's not that. But maybe, Guillermo, if you tell me down in the comments section, or maybe Maddie will catch it in the comments section.
He's
explain that one
He's
to
one
us,
of our old
because I feel like I'm missing something that I should be getting.
He's the old strength and conditioning coach for the Jets.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy that tripped that player.
Yeah, no, I was with you. I was completely thinking because it's Guillermo.
Yeah.
I was doing what you were doing, and my mind wasn't even on the Jets. Yeah, I was completely into the other world and not paying attention to the Jets for that one. But I appreciate the $2, Guillermo. Guys, we need 2 more gifted channel memberships so that I can gift 5. And that'll give us, over the past couple shows, a total of 20 gifted channel memberships. And you guys will get the Mach 1 show that I do with Tommy Jets. You'll get, me and Maddie and other guys will go live at random points, talk horror movies, talk, whatever. You never know what we're going to talk. We did an election stream. We've done tons of stuff.
Speaking of
ladies,
Tommy, did you see that Manish Mehta fucking retweeted him today?
Yeah, did you see that the same guy put out Joe Douglas's personal phone number?
Yeah, I was like, I don't follow him. I just happened to I was like, oh, I wonder whatever happened to that dude. And he totally retweeted Tommy. I messaged him. I was like, he's like, yeah, dude, he just started following me one day, said he likes my content. And I was like, that's kind of cool. I mean, the guy's a total tool, but it's kind of cool that he noticed you. I mean, he is a professional. But yeah, I was giving him shit earlier.
Well, I mean, Tommy's a good guy.
Oh, Tommy's great.
Yeah, you know what? Valerie, you are right. I am shocked. Like last week, we not only scored the most points that we ever scored this season, but we also only had 2 penalties, and I think the first one came mid to late fourth quarter.
Yeah, we played discipline, just sort of.
So we fix things and then let other things go to complete shit.
You take one hand out of the dam to put it in another hole, so that one starts raining in. That's all it is.
Ben, you are completely right on this one. Bills are getting healthy. They're looking good. And Mahomes, and that's another thing. Another defensive Aaron Rodgers. But think about it. Look at Mahomes' touch TD to interceptions, and then look at Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry, like Aaron Rodgers is not having a bad year for MVP Aaron Rodgers, but as a Jets quarterback, he's having a spectacular year. It's just there's so many things, coaching, kicking, defense, that's just failing around him. Guys dropping passes. Where's Alan Lazard?
Yeah, we're never.
God damn it! I know. My fucking Alan Lazard thing has just stagnated.
Frozen.
God damn it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on another Capitan of the Midnight Mike Show and the Midnight Mafia. Sean Neutron, our Vikings correspondent. What's going on?
Hey, Sean.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Matty? Good to see you guys.
How are you?
And sorry to hear about Joe Douglas, and we'll be missing him, but hopefully we get to see more Murdog though.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be going anywhere. We just have
Murdog has a nice home for him.
Yeah.
I
think I just commiserating in the loss, I guess, and just it is just baffling to see that the Jets, what they have become with all that hype and everything and around them, and like you guys discussed earlier, Joe Douglas, he made the best decisions available to him at the time, and then just the execution was just not there.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm another team, I'm looking at him going, I don't know why. He did everything he could. He's definitely a qualified GM. It's Jets being the Jet.
Well, but that's the thing. It's like when we were talking to Joe Douglas. Well, what did we want from him? He's right. Every team in the league would have picked Zach at that spot, at that number 2 spot.
And he would have bust. Yeah,
shore up the offensive line. What did he do? Shored up the offensive line. I mean, everything the guy did need to be done.
Well, when we got Aaron Rodgers, it was like, what were we supposed to do? Everyone kept saying that this team just needs a quarterback, and here's Aaron Rodgers ready to come to the team. The only other choice is Derek. The only other choice was maybe Derek Carr, and that's he's not that great. Jimmy Garoppolo, like, what are we talking about here? Joe Douglas did everything that he was supposed to do. It's just unfortunate that there were so many busts in the things that he tried to fix.
Yeah.
What happened with Tyron Smith? I heard you mention his name earlier. What happened to him?
He's injured. And,
he's injured?
Olu,
okay.
And that's another thing.
Yeah, Olu started this week for that.
And Olu has been playing so many different positions. And aside from that one play where he let the guy get to Aaron Rodgers, he had a spectacular game at left tackle. And I think he's going to be on our offensive line for many years to come, and that's another feather in the hat of Joe Douglas.
Absolutely. I think that, for a rookie, I think he played a very great game. So
I think the only more perplexing offense in the league than your guys with just as much talent as the Falcons. I mean, how do you not get a single touchdown with all those weapons against, Broncos is good defense, but still.
I mean, I think we all picked the Broncos to win that game.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't have any issue with them winning the game, but the fact that the Falcons couldn't get a touchdown with London, with Bijan, with Mooney.
It's mind-boggling just how some of these teams, if you had them in Madden and let it do autoplay, they would just dominate, and then the real world happens and it just everything falls apart.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Kirk and Rodgers have both lost a step. Who knows? But as a Vikings fan, I'm just glad we're paying our quarterback $6 million a year in base salary as opposed to $50 million a year with far better results.
Oh yeah, no, and you know what? And we've said it before. As Jets fans, I look. I don't have this. Why? Let me ask you guys. Why do I have no ill will towards Sam Darnold, and I wish him the best, but I hope Zach Wilson gets hit by a truck?
Because you're a horrible, petty person.
Okay.
Zach just has let's just be real. Zach just has a punchable face. Let's just be real.
Oh, he absolutely does.
It just you look at him, you go, he just has that look of like the spoiled rich kid who talks shit and can't back it up. Just has big friends to defend him. I think
the most punchable face in pro sports though is Trae Young for the Atlanta Hawks. He just has that look like he would 100% try to fuck your girlfriend if you were at work and he happened to be at that.
He just needs to get a shorter haircut.
That should be a whole most punchable faces in pro sports show we should do in the off season.
We should do a list of that. But speaking of him though, Trae Young, I mean, he should just get that haircut shaved. I mean, it looks like it's thinning and he just doesn't want to let it go.
Yeah.
I forget how I rolled across it, but I came across Zach Wilson's Instagram.
Oh,
Oh,
I
God.
didn't know he had
And
one.
that's what like he does have a punchable. Oh, he does. But
Yeah,
his
I didn't even know he had
his
one.
fiance is smoking hot.
Oh, of course. I mean, let's
go
be real.
check
He's not
it
a
out.
bad-looking guy. You can have a punchable face, and he can still be a decent-looking guy. So,
It's just jealousy on my end.
yeah,
Zach
true.
Wilson's-
But
Zach Wilson is winning in that department. I'll tell you right now.
Like I said, I don't have any ill will towards Zach or Sam Darnold. I honestly, when they're not a Jet anymore, I'm just kind of like, whatever, go do whatever. I can't think about you anymore.
yeah, no, it's we took business
that's
against.
the funny thing.
Mhm.
Well, I was just going to say, people sat there being like, when I'm trashing Sauce Gardner on my reaction videos, they're like, yeah, Sauce will probably go to another team and play great. I'm like, yeah, he probably will. So like, get rid of him because he's done in New York. He's done. He can't handle the fire of the fans. He can't handle the fire of the New York media. Get the hell out, and then maybe you can thrive somewhere else, and then we don't have to deal with you sucking on our team.
Yeah,
that kind of reminds me, being living here in the Washington D.C. Virginia area, the Washington Wizards. They got good players at times, and then they just can't put it all together. And all of a sudden, those players go to other teams and they do a lot better. They win
per night.
Yeah, but they have no identity, and they just it's just a decades long of suckitude.
I still think they should change their name back to the Bullets. I remember when somebody was like, when they first changed, I didn't know they changed, and a guy went was like, "Hey man, what do you think about the Washington Wizards?" And I was like, "What is that? Their fucking soccer team?"
Seriously.
What the hell is what a wizard? So,
but you have all this history in the Washington area, and their name is the Wizards. To me, it's one of the most offensive names in sports, only because it makes no sense and it pisses me off. It's just like
had that cool logo with the two hands coming up. I mean, that was a great logo.
But then they want to double dip. They want to get that
old school. It was like such an old school, simple logo, and I definitely liked it. Yeah.
So the thing is, they wanted to keep the name, but they also want to get the merchandise. So they knew they had to go back to the Bullets kind of branding without the name. So I'm like, come on, guys. And then on top of that, you got the Commanders. So both the names just have they don't help with any of the historical significance from the area. You have so much history and so much opportunity for these names, and those are the two names you run with. It's just pathetic.
I'm not gonna say I feel bad for Washington sports because I tend to hate like the Capitals and the Nationals, but you're just like, God damn, guys, like your fan base deserves so much better from you.
Hey, at least the Capitals are playing well, though.
Man, fuck the Capitals.
Yeah, they just popped into first place in the Metropolitan Division, didn't they?
Yeah, the Capitals. Here's the reason I don't like the Capitals. Capitals fans just showed up when Ovechkin showed up, and it's like,
fair.
Here's the thing. I always go, okay, fucking smart guy. You're a big Capitals fan? Die hard, bro, for life. What number did Rod Langway wear? Huh? Shut the fuck up.
For life goes back to 2005, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, and whatever. And I respect Ovechkin. He's a fucking amazing player, but I can't. Capitals fans run around like they've won 14 Stanley Cups, and it's like
I'll admit I'm a casual Caps fan, so
that's fair. I mean, but you're also not on our feed talking shit to me all the time.
Maybe I'll start.
I already put up with all your dumb wrestling shit on my Twitter.
So what's on deck for the Jets, guys? Who's up next?
Yeah.
Nice.
Prehistoric times.
That's all that needs.
You're the kid from Mad Max who acts like he remembers the long ago.
No caption necessary.
No, Maddie can't stand when I put that up because he's so jealous because his team is only.
You're so gay and not in a hot.
Look at his jealousy. Look how red his face is. Look how red his face is getting. He's getting so mad because
why are you gay?
It's getting as red as the Devil's logo.
Like I say, you and that Mickey Mouse organization.
Now we got the Vikings have the Bears up next. So to me, that's I want to demolish the Bears also because I can't stand Caleb Williams.
Nobody likes Caleb Williams, and all of us, I think, at the beginning of the year were like, yeah, unless he wins every game for that team, people are going to turn on him fast because of just who he is and the way he is. And he's
like I said, he's the Ben Simmons of the NFL. He just doesn't have the adversity. He doesn't have the fortitude to stick up against adversity. He shrinks. And that's why I knew I would have never taken him with a first round pick. Even if I had the 30th pick, I wouldn't have taken him.
Yeah, we all called that though. That one was funny.
Well, but it's almost like what's happening to Sauce. It's like Sauce got all the love for those first years, but you could tell that Caleb Williams did not have the intestinal fortitude and the inner strength to be an NFL player, especially not in a huge market that's going to tear you down the second that you do bad.
Wow. The New York media
and he
is
just
no joke.
Well, and same with Chicago. I mean, the Chicago media is tearing him apart.
Because you have to believe,
and the Bears.
Jaden Daniels, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and I'd have to believe JJ McCarthy. I think all of them could do better with those Bears receivers and Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift. I mean, there's weapons there, but he's just holding on to that ball too long.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, listen, I got to actually, I didn't even put the link in the description for the people, so I'm
all good.
Put that in, but thank you for calling in, and I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you on Saturday night.
And
all right, see you guys. Have a good one.
I, too, have got to bounce. I got to go to work, so got to, as the saying goes, time to make the donuts. But let's all enjoy this bye week.
Well, then, before you leave, can I show you that one more time? Can I show you this?
Do. You're sad.
Hold on, can I show you this one more time? Here we go.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Once again, that's the wrong one.
Well,
that's
there goes
the wrong
your viewer
one.
count again.
There it is. There it is. That was a mistake. Honest mistake on my part.
This dude would be flying.
There we go.
Banners from Game of Thrones. Anyways, yes, let's enjoy this. Off week where we could just watch other teams and just kind of enjoy football for football's sake. And that said, love your eyes, love your thighs, guys. I will see you Saturday night.
See you Saturday, Maddie. It's always good seeing you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring in one of my other co-hosts, one of my other capitans. He is a little late to the show. Murdoch, how you doing tonight?
What's up, man? I'm a little late. That's not fair.
You're a little late to the show.
Yeah, sorry.
Hold on, it's okay. I'm also late putting the link in the description for people to call in. So if anyone wants to call in, I'm doing that right now.
That's why I was late. See, it's your fault.
All right, there it is. No, you have the link, but like Maddie and Sean have before everyone else. So don't try to pull that crap. You just decided to show up at 10:48. You missed Maddie. You missed Sean. You missed Joe Douglas. I mean, you just missed the entire thing.
I'm such a shit. I know. Sorry. I was listening though, and I did have answers for what you guys were talking about. So first, when you were talking about Zach and his punchable face and like why we didn't feel that way nearly as much as Sam Darnold, it's because Sam Darnold took responsibility for his shortcomings. He didn't try to make excuses, right? He knows he didn't handle the pressure well. He knew he wasn't reading defense as well. He didn't make excuses. Like what was it, like 6-3 or 10-3 against the Patriots, and Zach was like, no, I didn't do anything wrong, with that special teams, was it the punt return a year or 2 years ago? So you got a prima donna who hasn't earned anything, who's been a failure as a number 2 pick, not taking an ounce of accountability, and then you got Darnold. What was he, pick 3? We got him at 3, right?
Yes.
He was just honest, like, I suck right now. I'm not doing what I got to do. He took it on the chin. He was a good kid. And then, so it was like, we don't like him because he's not performing, but we didn't hate him. We were just upset that he didn't pan out. And then you got Zach Wilson with, being a good looking kid, getting all the hot girls, grew up privileged and rich. Uncle owns JetBlue. It was just, he had all the ingredients for someone to just like hate him. It was a little gift wrap for the fan base. Like, you could have known if he didn't succeed, we were just going to hate him. And even if he did succeed, we would have hated him in secret, but just rooted for him to perform on the field. That's why the difference between Zach and Darnold. That's why we'll root for Darnold and not.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. And then the other thing you guys were talking about with the Washington Wizards, the reason why they changed from the Bullets to Wizards is because Washington, D.C. was challenging Chicago for the murder capital of the United States. So with all the gun violence, you can't have a team named the Bullets in a city that's shooting everything up, and that's why the logo is this with the hands, because they were like, stop, don't shoot. That's what it really looked like. And
well, I'll tell you this, Murdoch. When I think my second year living in Philadelphia, we were the number one murder capital of the world, and we held that in high esteem. We were really proud of that. We took that title while I lived there, and all of us who lived there who didn't get murdered felt like survivors. So yeah, you're right. Detroit and Washington D.C., man, they're always up there.
Yeah, they were fighting for the top spot. Chicago, Detroit, yeah, and what? And that's crazy,
well,
right?
Murdoch, what?
No, I was going to say, like,
what's
crazy? Washington D.C. is, politicians, the White House, Congress, and down the block, it's a shooting gallery. That's nuts that they would even allow that here.
If you're like right near the Washington Monument, or you're right near the Lincoln Memorial, you're okay. But you step like 3 blocks out east or west or north or south, and bullets are flying.
You gotta think that's crazy that they would even allow it nearby. That's insane. I can never get over that, but I'm sure that shit's gonna stop.
Well, we are getting to the end of the show, and I just want to point out that we do have someone else coming in, and I want to make sure that he gets his spot. He is our resident. He is undefeated against the children of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him on.
Meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really...
Anyway, well, on one hand, I'm happy. I'm still blaming Rodgers for this crap with what's going down with the Jets. I mean, seriously.
How can you?
Because he's such a fucking ass prima donna. Basically, the reason the defense has sucked the last couple of months, he cast Saleh as a scapegoat. Right.
No. Aaron Rodgers did not fire Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh should have been fired last year. Aaron Rodgers extended his time by 5 games is what happened.
So saying he cast Saleh as a scapegoat. But then again, I've got tougher.
I don't know. I think we should put Rodgers out there as like a DB or something, like see what he can do.
Coaches who cast as scapegoats. Dable's head is on a chopping block since he replaced Jones with DeVito this week. And if DeVito doesn't perform well, that's on Dable, not Jones. And maybe this will rip the scales off the Daniel Jones haters' eyes. I've never been a sympathizer for Jones, but I'm just saying he doesn't deserve the hate he's been getting this year because it's been Dable who's been pulling the fucking strings. You know what I mean, Murdoch?
I mean, what do you think, Murdoch? Daniel, who would you go with, Daniel Jones or Tommy DeVito?
I mean, I want DeVito, but I'm just saying that
I would go with Daniel Jones.
Scapegoat is my question. Jones or Dable? In my view, it's Dable.
You mean the problem in New York?
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of both.
More so with Dable because he's a rigid tin man, doesn't adapt his playbook.
Yeah, but Mets, this was the thing I would even say for Rex, but definitely Robert Saleh. I say it all the time. Some guys are better coordinators than head coaches. Dable seems to be one. He seems to be one of them.
True.
So
again, I've got bigger problems this weekend because of who's coming to Carolina to play.
Oh yeah, the Chiefs get their free win.
I'd rather see Boas barricaded from those fucking Swiftie whores.
I don't think the Swifties are. I don't think the Swifties are going to watch the Carolina Panthers play the Chiefs. I don't think you're going to be seeing that.
Can't blame me for expecting worst case scenario and wanting to gun all of them down.
Whoa!
Easy,
Jeez,
cowboy.
Matt's not on this show. Like, whoa, what are you trying to do to me here? Why didn't you say instead, I will throw them all across the parking lot? Because that's what you're best at. You are good at throwing children. I mean, now you like to throw like 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds, but most Swifties are like teenagers, still technically kids. But don't talk about, using any kind of weapons. Jeez.
Hey, Mets, what's your record? Distance.
I don't know. Never bothered keeping tabs on it.
You don't toss
I'd say at
kids like
least 15
shot put?
feet.
But do you do it in weight classes? Like the second graders, you can get them 10
No,
yards?
he doesn't bother. He doesn't bother with the chubby kids. He
Oh.
doesn't go. He goes like lightweight, welterweight, kind of thing like that.
I'm
Hey,
just saying, I don't
DB94.
want to deal with a Swiftie stampede, even though I'm not going to that game. That said, imagine Taylor Swift's ugly mug on my television camera almost the whole damn game.
I don't think she's going to that game, Mats. I think she knows that it's going to be just a beating.
And she pretty much knows that in the next 8 weeks, she's going to get her ass locked up anyway.
Why is she going to be locked up? I want to hear this logic.
Because the list?
The whole P. Diddy fiasco.
I don't think Taylor Swift was at the white parties getting oiled up and sodomized.
Yeah,
I don't think that was happening. They saved that for Usher.
I can't wait for all that stuff to come out, but
still,
just for entertainment.
Yeah, just for the entertainment. If Swiftie is on that list, I'll be happy when that bitch is locked up.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think she was a part of that Mets. To tell you the truth.
I don't think.
I'm not a fan of her
No.
either, but I don't think she was a part of that at all. Hey, DB94 had a good he put
No,
a
all
comment
that,
in it.
I mean, and if Sam wanted to know, Jets get Seattle.
Mets. No, Mets. Yes, that is true. That is true. But listen, Mets, I gotta go. I got one more person, and then we gotta call it a show. But I appreciate you coming on, and you, of course, are welcome always.
Got it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got one more guest coming in. I'm excited because I haven't talked to him in I feel like over a week. Let's bring him in, Ricky NY. How you doing, Ricky?
Hey, how's it going, Mike? I'm doing all right, hanging in there. You know, same old thing, work. You know, with the whole JD thing, I mean, he had some big misses. You know, missing on the left tackle. You know, missing on Zach. That being said, you know, I mean, in the position we were in, we needed a quarterback. You know, who else were you gonna take at that, you know, spot? But none of the other quarterbacks that were drafted that year after Zach have amounted to anything either. And you know, people act like JD's only good thing was that one draft with Garrett and Sauce, but I mean, even like, and saying that, you know, JD couldn't make a good pick unless it was, you know, a top 10 pick. But Will McDonald was not a top 10 pick. And everybody lost their minds when we made that pick because a lot of people weren't familiar with McDonald. But he's actually turned out to be pretty damn good. You know, Michael Carter in the later rounds, Bryce Huff as an undrafted free agent. I mean, JD made some good moves, and the trades he made were spectacular. I think the things that really went against JD was, and this may be a team-wide problem, in my opinion, is ego. Like when Zach wasn't working, he stuck with him way too long because that was his guy. You know, and the not adapting, not getting us a backup quarterback, the unwillingness to change, I think it ended up sealing his fate. And that's really all there is to it. You know, and speaking of which, dude, like Sauce has had an off year this year, but like all I can think about is like when he was a rookie, there was a game and afterward they asked him about all the passes, long passes the Jets gave up. And he was like, well, I personally didn't give any up. The team might've given some up, but I didn't. Well, guess what? This year, Alex Pierce, Booty from the Patriots, you've got torched by not even top tier guys, like bottom rung guys.
No.
So, and I equate Sauce a lot with Rex Ryan. Like, all that big blustery and big talk, that goes great when you're winning. When you're losing, not so much. And personally, I just have to say, I loved Rex when he got here, but let's not forget why Rex got ousted. Okay. Rex did not treat everyone equally. He was tough on the rookies, but then let, Wilkerson and Richardson and those guys be late to meetings, and the inmates were truly running the asylum. And then once Rex started putting his hands on the roster, it really went to crap. I love Rex. He's a great personality and stuff, but and all the people clamoring to bring him back right now, I guarantee you bring Rex Ryan back and we start 2-4, 2-5. All those same people were going, oh, it didn't work last time. Why'd they bring him back? The Jets are idiots. I don't think that's the direction to go. Personally, because Agnew's son is a scout for the Jets, I feel like that might give us a small in. And if I was Woody, I would do everything in my power, throw the whole checkbook at Ray Agnew, try to get him in here. And then once Agnew's in here, we got a lot better chance of Ben Johnson coming in here and getting the two as a package deal. If it was me, that's how I would go about things.
Look, I hope so. And I'll address a few of the things that you said. With Rex Ryan, it's not that I want Rex Ryan. I'm not against Rex Ryan, but it's like I feel like it's getting to the point where, and the Ben Johnsons and I just don't see why these guys, the Jets, have proven themselves over and over again to be a bigger disaster than any other team in the league. Now, other teams may lose, but the Jets are a clown show. So the Jets lose and are embarrassing. And to try to take that on, I just feel like the only thing left at this point is falling to Rex Ryan. Would I rather have Johnson or Vrabel or Flores or Aaron Glenn? Yeah, probably. But I just feel like we're the Jets, and we are going to end up getting stuck with what we get stuck with. And I'm not fully against Rex, but it's just where I feel like it will fall. The other thing I will say is that you were talking about some of the guys that Joe Douglas signed and drafted. I think a lot of those guys are going to be with us in the next 5 to 10 years in the future. You're talking about the JJs. I don't know if Brees will stick around. Braylon Allen will be here. Olufash will be here. Garrett Wilson will be here.
Garrett will definitely be here, yeah.
Wynnen Williams will be here. So these are all Joe Douglas guys who were brought in by him. So I don't think he deserves the hate that he necessarily gets, but I completely understand that we need to start new.
Yeah, well, I mean, the NFL is the ultimate production-based business. Like you either produce or, that's your job. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is for players, coaches, GMs. Johnson is, of course, my favorite as far as who I would like to bring in for a coach, but I could see us landing like a Kevin Stefanski or something. The thing is that, even though, say, this, has been a disastrous year and we have found new and creative ways to lose games, and I hate talking like that, but it's the truth. The thing is there aren't hundreds and hundreds of head coaching jobs. There's 32. That's it. There's not a lot. And just like Aaron Rodgers wanted to come to this team, Devontae wanted to go. I mean, dude, like all of us, everybody said we're only a quarterback away. And unfortunately, we put all our chips on Aaron Rodgers and it did not work out. No. That being said, this roster is so good. Like, I mean, it's insane to look at our roster and think that we can't win a game. I guarantee you there's plenty of coaches and GMs out there that will look at this roster and say, all the pieces are in place. I could do something with that. And, you know, and maybe those same people, you know, that are candidates will say, you know, if JD hadn't stuck with Greg Zuerlein, you know, while he was missing multiple kicks a game, or if he hadn't have stuck with Zach as a backup, it would have been different. And those are the things that I would do differently. I mean, it's correct. I think it's correctable. And we just need the right leadership, because at the end of the day, like, dude, I mean, nothing against Jeff Ulbrich. I'm sure he's a great guy. The players seem to love him. However, dude, when you're having to go over fundamentals and how to tackle during week 10 of an NFL season, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, we're having to, like, try to reteach these $1 million professionals the very basics of the game. What on earth are we doing? You know, I mean, I just to say about that. I'm flabbergasted.
But the good thing is that Ulbrich will get a job, you know, as a defensive coordinator somewhere. But his head coaching career is over for a couple years, definitely. But it is what it is. We'll keep the guys that Joe Douglas brought in. We got a good core. Hopefully we can build on that, because a lot of them are young. But unfortunately, you know, I think that we definitely got to blow things up. I look, do I want Rodgers next year? Probably not. But if he's going to stick around and get paid that, then maybe. Look, we're not winning next year. We're not going to do anything spectacular next year. And I don't know if I talked about it on the Mach 1 show, or I talked about it earlier today. I'm okay, and I'll bring up your shirt, but I'm okay next year going with Tyrod Taylor, Jordan Travis, and maybe another draft pick as our quarterback room, and just see what we can do with that. I'd rather start that process than have to do another year with Rodgers, even if Rodgers gets us 7, 8, 9 wins and those other guys get us 5. I'd rather start the process to see who we have, who's younger and ready to move this team forward.
Right. Well, the one thing that Rodgers had said was his coming back was somewhat contingent on this regime staying in place, and this regime is gone. So I think his chances of coming back have greatly lessened, especially with this most recent firing. And listen, I get it. You know, Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl, multiple-time MVP. He's done a lot of things in this league that Jordan Travis has never done. But he's also done something else that Jordan Travis has never done as of this week, which is lose to Anthony Richardson. Okay. Jordan Travis's team whooped Richardson every year we played him in college. I told people from the beginning, Richardson was a bum. He was basically Zach Wilson that could run better. And going into the Jets game, he had a 44% completion percentage. He is a bum. And we made that bum look good, which is embarrassing.
That's his fault.
But, you know, Travis was good in college. You know, he outplayed Jaden Daniels. I was there and watched that game, opening game 2 years ago. You know, I can guarantee you Jordan Travis is better than any quarterback that's coming out next year, Shador, whoever. He's damn sure better than Bryce Young has been in Carolina. And, you know, is he Patrick Mahomes? No, but he's smart. He gets rid of the ball quick, and he knows how to get the ball into the hands of his playmakers, which we have a bunch of. You know, I'm definitely ready to move on from this experiment.
Absolutely. Ricky, thank you so much for calling in, and I look forward to seeing what Jordan Travis can hopefully do next year, and hopefully we'll see you on Saturday.
I will definitely be here on Saturday. I am off this weekend, so I will catch you guys this weekend. And Murdog, shoot me a link in Discord for your channel. I've been trying to find it and haven't been able to come up with it.
Yeah, I'll send you on Discord. No problem.
All right, man. You guys have a great night.
Have a good night, Ricky. Thank you very much. All right, Murdog, we are coming towards the end of the show. What I want to do real quick is make sure all you guys are hitting that thumbs up button on your way out, because that helps the show out a lot. And I saw Murdoch laughing because I did see some of that chat, and the chat's going wild. And I may not bring it up sometimes when we're talking on the show, but I've mentioned this before. And whether you like us, you hate us, you want to troll us, or all that stuff, nothing I love more than like 2 days after a show or a day after the show or whatever, I'm on my lunch break or whatever, and I watch back, and all I do is watch the comments section. And sometimes you guys go off the rails and crack me up. So I appreciate all you guys, even you, Rick Roll. I appreciate you guys being in here and having a good time. But before we go, I just want to pop this up one last time. Murdoch, this is our schedule. I see now at this point 1 win if we get it. And I'm going to take away the Miami game. I thought we'd maybe win one against Miami, and then one the Jacksonville. I'm cutting it to Jacksonville. What are you thinking?
Well, we're the Jets, so we will find a way to jet and lose that Jacksonville game. I will be at that game. So if we're going to get a win, I hope it's at least that one. I can't see us beating the Rams, the Bills, even Seattle. But,
Seattle's going to destroy us, bro. Destroy us.
The Seattle game could also be like the Texans. Remember I told you, like, we could beat the Texans, and we did, even though we're on paper outmatched. The Jets have enough talent to shock anybody, but we could lose to a college team too. So I definitely see the Jacksonville game as a win, and maybe a split with Miami, possibly the Seahawks. But I don't see us having a shot against the Rams or the Bills at this point. I mean, anything could happen, but being realistic,
I'm just going to go ahead and say I think you're going to the only game left on this schedule where we're going to see the Jets win. I think the Jets end with four wins at this point. If we couldn't beat the Colts, scoring the highest we've scored all season with only 2 penalties, I think we can officially chalk it up. Yeah. Get ready for the Jets funeral and worry about next season.
I mean, when people talk about Aaron all the time, right? It's like we scored 27 points. Before the game, if you said Jets are getting 27, what's the odds of us winning? It's the defense.
Assuming our defense maybe wasn't what it was last year, but assuming that they're somewhat competent, and you told me the Jets scored 27 against the Colts, I say we win the game 90%.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone's going to be saying a whole bunch of stuff. I'll just go back to what I always tell you guys. Since week 1, we can't stop the run at all. When you got 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 13, and you let the quarterback run for a first down every fucking week, or the tight end, or somebody over the middle, it's always over the middle. You would think that we would be planning to, like, hey, keep a guy in the middle of the field so they can't go there. Spy the mobile quarterbacks. We don't make those adjustments week in, week out. It doesn't matter how many points Rodgers is putting up. The defense has been letting him down. And I don't know, who was that? Was it Ricky we were talking about Sauce, or is it Sean? I don't know who was talking about.
Please, we've been talking about how shitty Sauce has been for the past couple of weeks. It could be on anybody.
Okay, no, but it was I think one of them was saying about getting beat by 4th string wide receivers, 5th string, and that's true. But he also got beat by a running back with Ramondre Stevenson in the Patriot game. You can't get beat by a running back who lines up outside. That's like inexcusable. Can't tackle. We got to build through the trenches. I don't want to hear about quarterbacks. Shador Sanders, I don't want him because I don't even want Dion. But
no, I don't want either. You want to know what? But you want to know. No, but you want to know what? The Jets would be that circus, just clown fucking show team to hire Dion and his son as a coach and a quarterback. And it'd be just for the circus that's the New York media and all this bullshit. And then we'll get our hopes up and it'll be a complete disaster.
I don't want anything to do with Dion, Rick. I don't want anything to do with him or his son. Keep that shit out of here. We got enough problems. It doesn't matter what quarterback you get. I mean, I'm hoping that the quarterback's already on the roster in Jordan Travis. I want to see if the kid could actually do it. So I don't see us drafting quarterbacks early. So if they think that highly of him, that they stole him because he got hurt in his senior year, they're going to have to give him a shot. So I don't think we're going to waste high-end capital on a quarterback. I think they must realize no matter what GM, any GM that comes on and does the autopsy of the season is going to say, you guys can't stop the run and you can't run the ball with a really good running back. Like a really good run. Brees is a really good running back, but he needs people to make holes for him, right? Like everyone does. You're never going to win. If you don't win the line of scrimmage on the offensive or defensive side of the ball, you're not winning anything. That's what they need to do. They did not. Joe Douglas's two biggest mistakes was, I think Ricky touched on it, was not securing the backup quarterback last year. That was good. I mean, I'm not good. That was a good point. I totally agree with that.
Well, yeah, and then the same thing with the kicker this year.
With the kicker,
both of those should have been taken care of a lot earlier than they were. And Rick Roll, yes, no, I don't want Dion. And look, other teams may want Dion and his son, and that may work out, but it's not going to work out for the clown show trash bag team that is the New York Jets. The Jets do not win when they do these like kitschy, kind of signings. It just doesn't work out. Like, look at Brett Favre, look at Boomer Esiason, look at Neil O'Donnell, look at Aaron Rodgers. It just, the list goes on and on and on. Every time we try to do something like fancy and fun, and like the media goes nuts, and it's always a disaster. Murdoch, we have one more person who popped in, so we're gonna bring him in, and then we're gonna get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most pessimistic Jets fans that ever existed, a guy who loves to trash on the team, but still loves the team. I think deep down. Let's bring on Alan. How you doing, Alan?
I never laughed more in my life listening to all these motherfucking media members cry over this fucking useless GM getting fired. Rich Eisen today. Oh my God, what a fucking
I heard
joke.
it. Yep.
What a joke. This guy was a clown for 6 years. He was 34 games under 500, and people are crying over this? You gotta be fucking kidding me. What a joke. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Can't stand.
Alan, that's the crazy thing. They did the same thing with Saleh, and now they're doing it with Joe Douglas. And you look at their records, and they are embarrassing. And it's like, I can understand you saying, "Oh, maybe it's not the right time," but to question why it's happening, it's obvious why it's happening. They have sucked.
The idea that he did not get fired before the trade deadline pissed me off. First case, Saleh should have never been back for year 4. Yep. And the idea that Joe Douglas got an opportunity to be the GM through the deadline where there was 3-6 and not trade assets to get future assets is a joke. And that's why this organization is the way they are.
All right,
but the idea, sorry, go on.
At the beginning of the season, training camp's coming around, right? We're getting started. Roster's set. How did you feel?
I was worried about 4 players. I came into this season worrying about 4 players. I worried about Rodgers because I did not know what kind of player he was going to be. I was worried about Mike Williams coming off that injury. I was worried about Tyron Smith. I didn't know how long he would play. I was also worried about Hassan Reddick, knowing that he had not been signed yet. And finally, I was very worried about our head coach. And unfortunately, everything came to the shitter.
All right, but caveats to it, right? You mentioned Tyron Smith. You were not worried about Tyron Smith, the player. You were worried about Tyron Smith staying healthy because he has a history. But it wasn't his health. He played most of the season up until like a week ago. It was his performance because he's too slow. He's still extremely powerful, but guys are using the speed rushes are getting around him and they're beating him left and right. That was his problem. He lost his step. So it wasn't about health for him. It was about performance. And that's what shocked everybody with him. He stayed healthy for the first 10 games, right? 9-10 games, which we were like, oh my God. If they would have told you in the beginning of the year, first 9-10 games, he's going to be healthy the whole time, you'd be like, oh, good, great. That's a money left tackle, right?
Okay. But I was worried about our defensive line because they never really addressed that. I was also worried about the quarterback coming off an Achilles injury. I really was. I gave him the benefit of the doubt because of how much I love the player, but he has proven to me that he is basically washed. Unfortunately, he is. He's washed. He's not the same player anymore. Thank God he has only a few more games left because they're not bringing him back, obviously. But again,
what?
I don't think it's that obvious.
Oh,
No, but I don't think it's that obvious.
Me neither.
He is not coming back.
Aaron Rodgers does not want to go out like this.
He doesn't have. You know what? I don't think it's going to be his decision. I think he is gone. I think he's gone.
I think the plan is going to be let him play one more year as planned, and hope that Jordan Travis gets ready to take over the following year. But even if that doesn't work out, if you lose Aaron, you're losing Devontae too. So
that's fine.
Okay.
I would rather them I would rather them completely bottom out than try to bring him back at 42 years old or 40.
Now you have another hole at wide receiver. So you don't have
That's fine. I don't mind that.
That's okay. Murdoch, I understand what Alan is saying though, because I said it earlier. It's like I would rather start the rebuild next year, and that even if we only win 3 to 5 games, I'd rather at least start the process than have to deal with another season with Aaron Rodgers. Now, I don't think it's that obvious that Aaron Rodgers will be gone. I think there's a good chance that he wants to make that money, and he has it on his contract, and he has his ego, and he wants to come back, and Woody Johnson won't have the balls to tell him no. I do think that's a possibility. But if it's my choice, if I'm the GM, I'm starting this team from scratch. And even if it sucks and we suck, at least we've started the process to see if Jordan Travis or Tyrod Taylor or maybe another draft pick can be the guy to move us forward.
You will learn a lot about this organization based on the candidates they will bring in for GM. If there is a hot young GM or a guy with experience, none of them will want Aaron Rodgers back. They will want to start anew. They would rather go with a bridge quarterback in Tyrod Taylor and draft somebody, whether it's top 5 or whether it's in the second round. They'd rather take that route than try to bring him back. I don't think he's coming back. I think he's done. I don't think any other GM is going to want to come here and deal with him. I just don't. And there's nothing worse than watching a guy who had mobility when he was a star, having zero mobility now. He's throwing every ball off the back foot. He's missing guys all over the place. He's just not the same player. Again, I'd rather start the rebuild right now. But again, the idea that Joe Douglas, people are crying because he got fired at 30-64 is one of the funnier things I've ever heard in my life. Some of these media members just need to have a clue. Unbelievable. This guy has been an absolute failure in 6 years. Again, he's going to lose double digits for a 6th straight season, yet people want to bring him back. People think he's a good GM. He's not. He had 4 good draft picks in one draft. That's it. The rest of his resume has been an absolute joke. He fucked up the coach. He screwed up the quarterback. He picked the wrong left tackle. But again, this is the laughing stock from top to bottom. And again, they need to completely clean house. And I mean completely clean house. That's it.
Now, Alan, the only thing I will say about Joe Douglas is, and I said it a little earlier, I don't know if you were listening, but we will have a lot of players who continue on this team that we have because of Joe Douglas, and that's guys like Quinnen Williams. We will have Garrett Wilson. We will have Jermaine Johnson.
Quinnen Williams was not Joe Douglas.
Oh, was he that draft that when he came right after?
Yeah, Quinnen Williams was already on the team.
That was the draft. That was the draft where he came in right after the draft.
I think so. I no, actually was Quinnen Williams was
okay.
Yeah, Quinnen Williams was already on the team. Yes,
Okay, well, but even regardless, I think that I don't see them get rid of even Quincy, and he was brought in by Joe Douglas. Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson, Braylon Allen, I think will be a good player on this team. I think there are some guys that, but once again, like you said, he bombed on Zach. He bombed on Aaron Rodgers. He didn't get us a backup quarterback last year when we needed one. He didn't replace our kicker this year when we needed one. He let a kicker just get pulled from our practice squad. And I know, whatever. There's a lot of negatives. And plus, his record was 30-64. So I agree. There's no reason why anybody should be crying over the loss of Joe Douglas. I think he did a few good things. I don't think he's a horrible GM, but he's bad enough where I don't get why people are complaining about it.
It's kind of funny watching these reports and listening to these guys, these media guys, top media guys, just claiming this guy is a really good GM. Again, he's 34 games under 500. Honestly, how many GMs would have lasted 6 years going their first 5 years in double-figure losses? I don't think many would. He got another opportunity. He failed on the coach. He failed on the quarterback. He failed on the left tackle.
Adavera, he was talking about Becton. He wasn't talking about Olu.
Becton.
Olu's another one. I think Olu will be on the team also for many years to come. So that's
Becton
another plus.
works.
But once again, yeah, Becton was definitely a bust.
Yes, he was. It's sad. It's sad. But again, they just need to completely blow this up. And that includes the quarterback. Again, if I was them, and I don't think they have the balls to do it, and I agree with you. I think Woody is afraid to do this. I would tell Aaron Rodgers, this is it for you. I would cut him right after the season. I really would. I'd say it's enough. It's enough. There's no reason to bring
isn't that like a $30 million hit? Isn't that like a $30 million hit if we cut him?
No, it's if they cut him, it's a $49 million hit next year. Or if they cut him post June 1, it's 15 in 2025 and 34 in 2026. Again, look at what Denver did. Denver cut their quarterback. They went the rookie routes, but they were confident because they have the right head coach. And look at the way Bo Nix is playing right now, okay? You have to be confident in upper management.
Don't give these asshole Bronco fans in my chat any props to Bo Nix. Bo Nix is trash, and he's benefiting from the team around him.
He's been good.
Yeah,
he has been good.
He's been good a couple games.
He was great last week. He was great last week. He was great last week. Against a good team, he was great last week. You would take Bo Nix right now as your quarterback.
I would not want Bo Nix on my team.
Yes,
I'd rather go with Jordan Travis. I'd rather go with Jordan Travis.
No, you would.
Yes, I would.
You would take Bo Nix.
From what I've seen of him, from what I've seen of him in Florida, I'd rather have Jordan Travis.
Okay, I would take Bo Nix in an absolute heartbeat. Jordan Travis, to me, his ceiling is a backup quarterback. At least Bo Nix.
By the way, Alan, all these Broncos fans are loving you right now because they know how much I trash Bo Nix. So
Bo Nix has played great, and look at the weapons he has. He doesn't have great weapons on the outside. What?
For a couple games, he's had a few good games here and there. But if you look at his other games, and then you look at his you look at the majority of his other games, he's throwing behind, he's throwing above, he's throwing all over the place, and it looks like anybody could make those passes because they're just trash passes.
First of all, look at the fourth quarter in Kansas City. Some of those throws on third down. First of all, he played great in the fourth quarter. If it wasn't for that block kick, he would have won in Kansas City. He played phenomenal last week. I'm not a closet Bronco fan, absolutely not. But
he's a Lions fan.
I love my Lions. That's my team this year. Let them go all the way.
Well, and it's our team this year too.
But again, today is actually a good day for the Jets. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of confidence in the owner making the right decision. He has to just surround himself with smart football people. Enough listening to Peyton Manning. No more Charlie Casserly. Just get football people who can come here and steer him the right way. Again, I am praying to God that Ben Johnson would come here. I don't think he will come here. Maybe they'll hire Aaron Glenn and maybe bring Tanner Engstrand as their offensive coordinator and hire Ray Agnew. That would be my second hope. Again, raid the Lions. That's what I would do. I would take the next 6 weeks and go follow Lions games and raid them, whether it's Dorsey or Agnew or Glenn or Johnson or Engstrand. That is a model franchise right now. Go raid them. But today is a good day for the Jets. They fired the clown in week 5, and they fired this fat bastard GM today. God bless America.
Thank you, Alan. I appreciate you calling in. We got to end the show. We're a half hour over. But you owned it at the end here. Thank you for calling in.
Love you, Murdoch. Always a pleasure.
Love you too, brother.
Love you too, Mike.
Have a good one, Alan. All right, Murdoch. Now we can finally get out of here, but I am happy that my Broncos fans in here had someone defending Bo Nix, because you know I wasn't going to do it. And if you haven't hit the like button, please hit that like button. Whether you love me or you hate me, or you like the Jets or you hate the Jets, I think that last call with Alan deserves a thumbs up. It's free, so please, guys, hit that thumbs up. This is what the Midnight Mike Show is. We never block people. We never send people, to where you block them for like 5 minutes or 24 hours or pussy shit like that. That's not this show. This show, you can call in, you could write in the comments, whatever you want. The only thing that I ask, and Rick, started to do stuff like this when he first came on the show, started writing words that, YouTube I will get in trouble and my channel will get pulled down. So I got a few people in here as moderators. You take those comments out, but we don't block you. And ever since then, Rick Roll comes in, he talks his shit, and I play, we play along, we put his comments up, we have a good time, and that's all we want from this show, because we like other teams' fans come in, tell us that we're stupid assholes, because we are, and we're trash bag clown world. That's what the Jets are. And I think that deserves a thumbs up. Murdoch, do you have anything else to say before we head out?
Yeah, I'm probably going to, after we leave here, I'm probably going to use my bicep implants to masturbate angrily and then smell my own farts.
Nice. And the people were talking, we had a whole fart conversation in here earlier. People in the comments just love talking about farts. Yeah, thank you, John. I appreciate that. Wow, watching at 2:30. Oh, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, Wednesday. Wow, what's happening? I know you've probably heard this before, but I want to know the future. What do I have to expect? Because it's only Tuesday night here. That's great.
Mike, so you got a Colts fan in here, right? We could deal with the Broncos fans, right? They're not as bad. They're funny even when they make fun of us. But the Colts fan, that's just very dickish. Like, your Colts aren't going anywhere. I don't even like your quarterback moving forward. You can't even throw the ball to your top receivers. They ain't going to be anything.
No, the Colts don't do anything.
Wait, I think he was in someone else's stream before too, and was like, "Oh, we stomped all came in and stomped on your Jets. You squeaked by against a 3-win team by 1 point, and you're bragging about it."
Yeah, but bragging about beating the Jets is like being the smartest person on the short bus. It's like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, what are you bragging about? Like, get out of here with that shit.
1 point win. Stomped all over you.
Great job. You beat the Jets. Like, anyone could beat the Jets this season. I mean, the only
they'll get bounced right away.
The only team that should be embarrassed in the Jets' schedule this year should be the Chicago Bears. I'm sorry, not Chicago Bears, the Houston Texans. I saw Troy came in and said Chicago. The Houston Texans should be thoroughly embarrassed that the Jets manhandled them the way they did. That's all I'm saying.
Right, but we did it last year too. It just seemed like we had his number, Stroud.
Oh yeah, man. Troy, I don't know why you're in a Jets show, but we welcome people from all fandom. You don't get blocked. You can talk trash, whatever you want. Like, this is like the underground punk rock Jets show. So I appreciate all you guys being in here. Subscribe if you haven't. That's free. Hit the thumbs up. Chicago fans since the 1980s. Mike Ditka, Refrigerator Perry. What about McMahon? All those guys. Yeah, man, that team. I mean, I wish I could pull up the Super Bowl shuffle right now. Watch some real bad dancing.
I could still name a lot of the 85 Bears. I'm not even a Bears fan, but I can name a lot of those players.
They're a badass team, man. Probably one of, if not the best defenses in all of football. The only defense that I could ever think that I'd like to see them kind of compared to is that Ravens defense.
The Ravens team. Well, which one? 2000?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
All right, Murdoch.
To the Dolphins, and I was rooting for the Bears so hard, and they Miami beat them on Monday night.
Murdoch is live during every Jets game. Make sure, hey, Ricky asked you for your info. Make sure you get that to Ricky. You can check Murdoch out live during any Jets game at _Jets stream. You put that in the search on YouTube, you'll find him, or put in _Jets stream Murdoch, and you'll get him. Thank you, Murdog, for coming on. Not only being a member of the show, but also being my fill in for Maddie whenever Maddie decides to dip out.
All reliable.
Have a good night.
Hey, are you gonna miss? I'm gonna miss Joe Douglas. Are you gonna miss Joe Douglas?
I am. It's upsetting that we can't have him back on the show. I feel like when I spoke to him earlier, it's like the last time I'm ever gonna speak to him, and that's kind of depressing.
I feel like I should just send him a message and say, just pop up here and there, just for shits. I don't know. It'd be sad to see him completely go forever.
Well, if he gets hired by another team, it'll be weird to have him show up in different gear.
Yeah,
that'd be strange.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
It's like going through a divorce right now, but all right. Yeah, we'll have a funeral for Joe Douglas.
Well, have a good night, Murdoch. I appreciate it.
All right, Mike, it be good. Trolls, be good. Take care.
All right, guys, this show went over by almost 40 minutes, and you guys hung in, and that just to me shows that not only are you diehard New York Jets fans, but even you trolls are diehard NFL football fans, and you like coming in and talking trash to Jets fans, and that's okay. That's what we thrive on here on the Midnight Mike Show. We're different than a lot of other Jets shows. You know, we thrive on the back and forth, on the debates, on the arguments, on the shit talking, all that stuff. I curse more than anybody. I let people through who talk shit more than anybody, and that's what we do here on the Midnight Mike Show. I am an old school Howard Stern, old school Opie and Anthony fan, and that's what it is. Let's be inappropriate. Let's be, underground. Let's, and oh, by the way, guys, I've been covering the Jets now. I've been doing this for a year. Okay. And we now have over 2,000 subscribers, and I can't thank you guys enough. I forgot to bring it up earlier, and I know it's late in the show and a lot of people have left us, but thank you so much. Let's keep that building. Let's keep it moving. Our numbers this season have just been so much better, and we've hit new records, and we've hit new records in comments and likes and views and live views and all that stuff. And that's because of you guys. So I know I'm a broken record, but I really do appreciate that. And if you guys comment below, especially after this, like if a live show goes off the air and you guys comment on the show after it's off the air, I will go back and forth with you. I can't do that on the live comments because I'm live, obviously, and I try to get to you guys as I can. But you'll know that I'm one of the shows where when I do a reaction video and I get 10, 15, 20, 30,000 views on a reaction video, go down and look on how many of those that I respond to. It's in the first 24 to 48 hours. It's almost everybody, because that's how much I love you guys and appreciate that we've built this community of a bunch of people who love shit talking each other and taking it. And I mean, believe me, I thought I'd be here at this point going into Thanksgiving. I thought I'd be in here talking shit to all you Colts fans, all you Broncos fans, all you Patriots fans, all you Dolphins fans, all of you. I thought I'd be in here on my high horse, king of the castle, king of the castle. And you know what? It didn't turn out that way. It turned out that I'm the one taking it. And I'm kind of glad in a way. Like, I don't want the Jets to lose. I wish the Jets were doing better. But I'm kind of glad that me and Maddie were able to prove our point. And we were able to, like, instead of being like, oh, yeah, well, we'll see. The Jets are doing good. I doubt you'll be like this if the Jets suck. Well, here's our proof. We let you guys come in and just talk shit. I put as many comments up on the screen as I possibly can. I try to interact with you guys, and people come on my reaction videos that I do after each game, and they talk so much shit. And I still try to get back to as many people as I possibly can, because I just want to be different. I want to be different. I may curse. My ad revenues may be a little lower than other people's because I curse, but fuck, shit, bitch. I don't care. That's what this show is about. It's a late night show. It's not for the youngins, right? Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this show. And I've been here over 40 minutes overtime tonight. And I thank you guys so much for being a part of the Midnight Mike Show, Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will be back for our 2-hour show, which once again will go over. It always does. Our 2-hour show, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come join the fun. Come shit talk me and Maddie and Jets fans. Misery loves company. Let's have a therapy session together and just enjoy the bye week. Enjoy it. Because it's like, that stupid commercial with Eli Manning where he talks about how they're undefeated at tailgates and, you can't lose a tailgate. Well, you can't lose a bye week either, right? So we're going to win. We're not going to win, but we're not going to lose this week. I guarantee Joe Namath style, that the Jets don't lose a game this weekend. There it is. I am Midnight Mike. I am your late night, the one and only, your late night New York Jets host. And I can't wait to see you next time. Hit those like buttons on your way out. I love y'all.